Hello, and welcome to another episode of Virtually Heroes, where I struggle to entertain four people for a couple hours every week. My name's Logan. I'm a dungeon master, and I like to put my bestest peoples into rooms filled with countless zombies and really miserably fail at even making them slightly scared at this point. They're just... You guys are too strong anymore for zombies. I'm gonna have to come up with something better, or just make different zombies. Zombie giants, that'll be fun.
Quick question, interjecting here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's me, but the stream sound is pretty low.
It's like quiet.
Yeah, it seems quiet to me. I don't know if someone else wants to check. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
Is this better?
Waiting for it to catch up. Yeah. I mean, it seems. I mean, you could definitely hear it. I'm not saying you can't hear it. It just seems a little low. It might just be you because when I'm talking, it's pretty loud.
It could totally be me, actually. I've played around with a lot of mic settings this last week.
It's you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I think it did get louder that time, actually.
Yeah, I have it about the volume's at about 80. It's peaking on our voices. So if anybody yells like this, it's probably going to be a little fucked up. So that out of the way. As opposed to a beautifully narrated few paragraphs of what our adventurers have gone through up to this point, I instead ask my players the top 3 things that they remember from the last session because A, I am lazy, and B, it helps me focus on what I should be writing the story for. So I think I skipped everyone's intros. I'm super off today. With me, I have a group of lovely people in no particular order. Daniel Sanders, who are you? What are you doing? Who do you play?
Hello. I'm Daniel Sanders. I play Cerberus Lenagoth, a fighter wizard. I'm Harry Potter. And yeah, I make poor life decisions. Talk to zombie guys, take their hands. It works.
That was a lot of fun. I'm finally glad that we actually got to do that. I kind of am glad that you guys were a high enough level to do it easily because we got to focus on better things. Give me 1 second. Annabelle Martin, who are you? What are you doing? Who do you play?
My name is Annabelle. I drink energy drinks and I play Arondiwil. She's a tiefling of Glacia with 2 levels in Hexblade Warlock and 5 levels in Soul Knife Rogue. As of late, I have learned she's really good at attacking one person at a time and nothing else.
It's kind of what assassins do.
That's good. That was the plan. But unfortunately, well, I guess luckily we have 2 other guys who can kind of care. 3, really. Brian can pull out some giant toads.
Yeah, you're the only person who doesn't have area of effect.
Yeah, but I'm also the only person who's properly sneaky, so it works out. I'm useful to the party, guys, I promise.
Brian Roberts, who are you? What do you do? Who do you play?
My name is Brian. I play Jaxwoodgum Flintbelt, who is a Hill Dwarf druid, pure druid at this point. It's pretty good. Has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. He makes hastily decisions and deals with the hastily consequences of the decisions. And other than that, yeah, he fucks shit up.
I like that, consistently one person every recap will be like, and I fuck shit up. And last but not least, Jordan Robinson. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you play?
Top of the morning to you all. I'm Jordan Robinson. I play Zaforius Cyanidel. This might be my new accent, I don't know. But, yeah, he's a Wood Elf cleric, monk. He wants to protect the party. He wants to figure out this clone shit and get that resolved. And, yeah, doesn't want to be in a scary cave with zombies and spiders. Mainly the spiders. Ugh, spiders. But yeah.
That's fair. And since I already did the bit about recaps, in the same order, Daniel Sanders, top 3 things last session, go.
I killed myself again.
You just waiting on that? Like this whole
I'm
time?
just waiting on this.
Oops, I did it again.
Yeah, I killed myself again. So that's probably gonna start fucking me up mentally at some point. I got a second Omnitone also from killing myself. And then let's see what else we've got. Of course, the Mihaim's hand. So that's I'm gonna have to see the consequences of that one. Yeah, dead guy under a big rock.
Annabelle Martin, top 3 things last session, go.
So I would like to disclaim what I'm about to say with the fact that the last notes that I took were on 6/20 of 2021, and it says to steal, and then it has a list of things that I was going to steal from the guards' houses in Gresh. So I remember that we had a conversation with some rat men. And I don't think this was last session, but I saved Martin. That wasn't last session, right? That was the session before last. But I had saved Martin, and then I stuck him in the back of the tavern, like behind the tavern. I was like, wait here, I'll get help, because his foot had been cut off. And then I got help from his friend Brule, the tavern keep, and he was gone. So that was something I was planning on checking out and asking from our Ratman, but I don't think I did. Instead, we were told to be quiet after going into a super sneaky cavern area, and we weren't. And so a bunch of zombies came out, and I don't think I killed a single one. I think I pretty much just stood there. And the rest of my party did an amazing job, and I'm super impressed with all of you. You guys are amazing. We learned that the rat catcher is this I think is my 3rd thing technically, right? Have I BS'd my way through 2 things officially? Yeah, so we learned that the rat catcher is after, I think, Zelfarius's cousin? No. Somebody who might be Zelfarius's cousin? Did I just miss that completely? Was it someone who might be one of Cerberos's people? Are we sure that it's not?
Yeah, remember I asked. I was like, is it him? And I described him, and he's like, no. And I was like, woof.
Oh. Well, anyway. Yeah, so I guess most of the conversation last session I just kind of completely... But yeah, we learned that he's looking for somebody. He wants our help looking for him. And he hasn't really divulged what use he could be of to us or is willing to be of to us, which I find a little sketchy, but that's just me. And that's all I got.
Brian Roberts, who are top 3 things last session. Sorry, I'm a mess.
Yeah. I remember the interaction with future future Jax and Cerberus. That's pretty cool. Got some cool stuff from that I don't know what it is, because it's pretty futuristic and we're in the Dark Ages basically. So there's that. Let's see. I remember falling in a hole and and finding an ancient 1,000-year-old room from the end of the Second Age, I believe. And yeah, I grabbed a hand, and it was Mihaim, and he was trying to convince me to release him. So I pulled out a rhino and tried to use a rhino to move the stone, and the rhino just kind of vanished and poofed when it hit the rock. So yeah, that happened. And other than that, I guess we're just trying to figure this shit out.
And lastly, again, but not leastly, again, Jordan, top 3 things last session.
I mean, we pretty much covered it. The only thing I have to add is we got a glimpse into at least what Zell thinks is a alternate timeline or dimension, if you will. We saw some zombie futuristic death dealer action. And we learned Zell informed the party of what that place is called. It is called the Sorrow Rock, where some backstory stuff happened way back in the day. But yeah, that's about it, I think.
All right. So, where we left off, the party had just ascended the stairs in the House of Grata and was brought to the private quarters of a woman. Dark sort of suntan skin, black hair, some not heavily caked on, but definitely quite apparent makeup, in just sort of an evening gown, sort of covered by a robe, fluffy, comfortable. And the large Loxodon bouncer had left you guys there. She kind of looks at all of you individually, slowly. And after what seems like this really pregnant pause, well, it would seem that we have some sort of mutual acquaintance. My name is Grata. It's a pleasure to meet you. What can I do for the 4 of you?
Yeah, so we just kind of came from your basement. And yeah, we're here. I'll let the rest of my group explain why we're here. So
has it been 7 hours since I did the mind link psychic whispers with everyone? Because I know that was 2 sessions ago, but the last session was mostly combat. And I feel like it might have not been 7 hours yet.
No, it's only been a couple hours.
Nice. In that case, I'm going to kind of like look around, and as I am, I'm going to be like, so how much are we planning on telling her? Is it okay to just kind of like, does anyone get a sense that she's like trustworthy or potentially like allied to our cause? I don't know.
To that, I'll kind of give Arondi like a little like nod as she says that, and I'll look at Madame Grata, and I'll be like, if I may ask before we answer that, what is your agenda, I guess, or what is it that you aim to do?
Well, the note that I received said that you 4 have been in some kind of altercation with individuals I would consider unsavory.
That is correct. Specifically, we found out, well, I found out anyway. I don't know if I told you guys, there was a man being tortured. that I saved, he lost a foot. And then I took him to Brules and he disappeared. Did I tell you guys about that?
No, this is new.
Right, sorry. Everything's just been happening so fast. You know, I don't know what you guys were doing, but you made a big ruckus, and there was, I don't know if you saw, there was like a whole ring of fire somewhere, so I just kind of used that opportunity to like get out of there with him. But yeah, it's that happened. So anyway, the people we are dealing with, I would definitely describe as unsavory, and I understand that not everybody who works outside of the limits of the law is necessarily, you know, they're not necessarily all the best. But I like to treat people on a case by case basis, and I think in this case they are particularly terrible human beings. More to be specific. Also, one of them tried to like attack me and like kidnap me for I don't even know what sort of purposes, but anyway, I'm doing that thing. I talk a lot. I'm sorry.
Wait,
What is your name?
Was this the night that you went out on the boat with him?
Oh yeah. Did I not tell you guys that I was attacked?
No, you did not.
Sorry, I'm
It's alright. It's alright. Just
right. Yeah.
processing.
No, he attacked me, and I don't know why. I did nothing to provoke it. I know I was thinking about stealing whatever magic weapon was under his shirt, but I was planning on like not killing him or anything. And I hadn't even gotten to that point at all. Like, it was really weird. Anyway, yeah, so that all happened. And now we were located by some man with a bunch of rats who wouldn't tell us his name and wouldn't give us anything to call him by, who said he was looking for someone and asked us for help. And I shouldn't be telling you all this probably, but I have a feeling that you're very trustworthy. So I hope you'll keep all of this kind of between us, because the local law enforcement does not seem to be very savory characters either.
Well, that is quite the story. I assume you're sorry. I assume that you're speaking specifically about the crew of the Havisham in the port. They haven't been the best guests we've had here, but they haven't caused trouble. However, I have had a string of employees and associates go missing over the last few weeks. Most notably, my performers. Girls don't seem to find the same kind of attention, but my minstrels periodically disappear and don't come back. And this has been going on since before as you noted, the strange guards have appeared in town.
Minstrels, you say? They've been potentially, allegedly kidnapping minstrels?
I don't know who's been making them disappear. I don't know if they've been kidnapped. They've just left and not come back.
Hey, so did this start when the Havisham showed up here then?
The first few disappearances happened probably 7 or 8 weeks ago. A group of performers, my best singer and a group of her friends, worked here for many years and had spoken of a person who had come to contact them about performing in the capital. And the next day they did not show up for work. No one had seen them leave. And that was well before the guards and this alleged bugbear raid happened. Since then, there have been I mean, since the guards have appeared and the Haversham has been in and out of port, there have been one or two that have gone missing. I had assumed they had just moved on, perhaps to Gusset Scratch or another small town, but it's... I don't control the movements of the people in my employ. They're free to do as they wish. But it is slightly suspicious.
It's quite suspicious. And I'm sorry, you said alleged bugbear raid. And you also pointed out that the guards appeared. I personally had assumed that the guards in town were people from the town. Are they outsiders?
Yes, they came. They were dispatched from, I believe they said, Zealous, after there was an attack. Not too long after the attack.
Do you remember the attack? If you said alleged, obviously you don't particularly believe it.
It happened in the middle of the night. No one was harmed. There was some doors kicked down. There was lots of property damage. A few fires were started, but no one ever saw a bugbear. No one ever killed or captured a bugbear. There are bugbears in the nearby woods, and they are somewhat territorial, but only if you go... You're more likely to encounter them crossing the road back to Zealous than you are them being so bold as to attack an entire town, even one as small as ours.
So what you're saying is that it's likely there was no bugbears, but perhaps these guards were conjuring this story just to have their presence in our town, or your town, I guess, yeah?
It's possible. You all were detained when you entered the town. Have you tried to leave?
Yeah.
No?
I imagine you would expect to meet a significant amount of difficulty trying to get back out of the gates.
I mean, first of all, nobody stops Jax from leaving, you know? Like, I just can't be held back, you know? Like, but that's beside the point, yeah, I totally understand the situation, and it sounds like, perhaps we need to get on this boat to maybe have a closer look. Because perhaps if they're going missing, they're being kidnapped, perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps they're, just leaving and going to the other town, like you said, I don't know.
Well, I do know that the boat was searched by the port wharf master. He's been here a long time. He's lived here almost his whole life. A lot of the sailors have. He didn't note anything suspicious on board. I believe he checked their cargo. You might talk to him.
Aye, sounds like a plan.
Out of curiosity, I was just wondering about your minstrel, the first one who disappeared. You said they went to the capital, or they were told of some sort of opportunity in the capital. We are from a rather large city ourselves, so perhaps we may have heard of them. I mean, it might be good to know, if they're safe. What was their name?
I believe her name was Margaret. I didn't catch the name. There was a band of them from just a nearby village that had stayed here quite a while. There was a violinist, a drummer, I believe 2 guitarists, and like a flute player or something. They were a happy bunch to have around. Margaret was a beautiful singer.
Well, we're not absolutely sure, but yes, we have our suspicions of these guards, but more importantly, the crew of the Haversham. We think that they're possibly up to no good. They might be involved with these disappearances, based on the information we have. Do you happen to know anything about their captain, Skorsgard, I believe his name is?
Skorsgard is the only one from the ship I don't allow into my establishment. He's a quiet man. He's incredibly angry and has a short temper. He's gotten physical with a few of my employees before, and I've asked him not to come back. Kerk is easy to get along with. He comes in frequently. I know of two more, and then the remainder of the crew are just... They seem to be hired hands. Not particularly old sailors, young men. Different backgrounds, different places of origin overseas, so the Havisham travels to other countries. As for the other two, there is Nilid. She is the medicine woman of the ship. And I believe his name is Nilisk. His name is Nilkish. He is the bosun of the ship. Dragonborn fellow, quite large.
I'm sorry, could you spell that?
Nylkish.
And what was his position on the ship?
Bosun. He is in charge of managing the crew and supplies, things like that. Carries a large sword on his back. He's very hard to miss. They all have their places in town they frequent.
Do you perhaps know if there's a way you could... Maybe we could coordinate efforts. You could either give us a way to draw them all, or most of them in an area, while we go search the boats, possibly?
Well, it would be difficult with the guards in town for me to empty the cabaret, and I wouldn't want my employees getting injured in any sort of fight. I could potentially arrange for Kerk to be here. There is a slight complication. With the news that came in town with the courier this morning, it appears that the Havisham is making way to sail tonight.
Well, I think personally, hearing this and getting a sense of your establishment, do you happen to know the captain's taste in partners?
Skorsgard never had any interest in spending the coin to spend the night. He watched shows. He sat in the corner quietly. The altercations he had were in the dining room. So no, I'm not familiar. I know that each of the four sort of in charge of the ship have their different needs. Nilkish frequently needs repairs on his equipment. He's quite strong and often breaks things, so you might look for him in the blacksmith. But he doesn't leave the ship during daylight. He spends most of his time on the ship and only comes out in the evening when most of the crew is retired. He manages a lot. And if they're getting ready to sail either tonight or tomorrow morning, then he'll probably make one more stop at some point in the next 24 hours to the Mermaid's Metal. Nilid is good friends with Adorna. She runs the apothecary on the north part of town. Kerk will probably come here. He likes talking. I don't know where Skorsgard spends his time. I've seen him once or twice around town. He doesn't come in here, and I don't leave.
You could just sink the boat.
We could do that. That would be a pretty easy way to handle the situation, but it might cause some waves.
I was also thinking we could possibly counter-strike, so to speak. Maybe pick off one or two of them, see what they do. If they lose their bowsman or someone important that's in charge, they, in theory, shouldn't leave. They would want to figure out what happened. That would draw them out and give us a chance to sink the boat if
It could also frighten them into just heading out early. Though, granted, if we do it in the nighttime, maybe their plans will change, the next morning. You said Carrick tends to frequent your establishment. Does he have a particular taste in partners? I'm asking because I have the ability to disguise myself magically as someone else, so perhaps it might be an easy way for me to get him alone.
Carrick has a broad palate. I don't think he's particularly choosy.
Just so we're clear, Mr. Farias, you are suggesting proactive murder, yes?
not necessarily murder. I mean, if we have to defend ourselves and we end up killing them, sure. But
Also,
I
it's
just-
really justice. It's divine, not divine, but it's retribution. I believe it's lawful.
I'm just
okay.
talking about maybe knocking one or two, I can't talk. One or two of them out and basically detaining them. They don't strike me as the type to turn tail and leave. If they left, it would be more so because they have something else that they need to do. But something tells me if we take out one of them, they'll be inclined to figure out why and who it was that did it, buying us time to do what we need to do.
Aye, so we go on and we just murder two in cold blood, right? And then we see what happens. Maybe they need to replace those two. Perhaps we disguise, Arandi disguise herself, and she just miraculously has the skill set for whatever we, murder in cold blood. So then at that point, Arandi is on the inside.
Okay, I have to interrupt you just for a second. Sorry, Randy, but I'm not saying we murder in cold blood. That is not the hard plan. I'm just saying we knock one of them out. If we have to kill them and it happens to happen, cool. But I don't think we should try to kill them unless there is substantial evidence that they are doing what we think they're doing.
Okay, I have a middle ground that both of you will appreciate, okay? So we knock someone out whom I can replace through disguising myself, right? And I do have the ability to mimic voices as well, so perfect, right? So we find one of them, we knock him out, right? And then you guys torture him for information, no killing him, and then I disguise myself, go onto the ship, pretend to be one of them, and then get information about the situation.
So why don't we do a little bit of everything? Why don't we capture one for information while sending somebody on the boat to disable it so they can't leave and giving us more time to collect information and no one dies?
See, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. What if we just go ahead and kidnap Skarsgård and I pretend to be Skarsgård? I feel like the captain is the one who decides when the ship leaves or stays, or who can go onto the ship. So
there's two problems with this. So the first, say one of us gets into something that we can't handle. We're stronger together, or at least in pairs. Or if one of us dies, we're not able to save the other. That's to Cerberus. The second, we don't know where Skarsgård is or where he goes. So it's a good plan, but you don't want a double Skarsgård showing up, because that would be bad.
If I might interject, I don't think if they're successfully coming to and from town and doing what you say they're doing. I don't think they'd be able to do that if they didn't have some connections in town. It might also be worthwhile to see who's working with them, as you say, on the inside here. And I also want to point out that if they were torturing someone and you don't know where that person is, it might also be on your agenda to find them and see what they know.
I was thinking about that, but unfortunately there's no way for us to find that person. There is a spell that I can do, but I've not reached a level to be able to cast it yet.
So, Zalfarius, how many zombies do you think we'd have to go back and kill? How many, like, just you? Not everyone else, just you. And then maybe we just wait nearby so that we're not actually involved. You know what I mean? So that way you have this chance to really train and get stronger, but still not die.
I mean, I would be down for that. I love your enthusiasm, but we have some pressing issues that are time sensitive, unfortunately.
I just feel like all our issues right now could be solved by you having the ability to locate people. And I feel like we need to support you in that endeavor. So
I'm actually looking what level that is.
I think it's 4th level.
That's what I think. I mean, I wouldn't have to kill very many. I'm I've been spending time with my god at night, and I feel like we're making headway in our connection, and yeah, I feel like I'm close. I'm on the brink, but
for some reason, I feel like those exact words could be used to describe like an interaction with your therapist. You know what I mean?
we're on the
really
brink.
close to a breakthrough.
Making a lot of progress, man. I'm not drinking as much. My head's really clear.
So I think we should probably find a plan and just go with it, because it's probably going to go off the rails anyway. So I would suggest that we, I like the plan of perhaps kidnapping someone and having Arandi, disguise self as that person. I think that would probably be the best idea, yeah?
Agreed. And if we want to keep like a partner with me, Jax, you could turn into like a toad or something and slip into my pocket. And then I could just get you on the ship that way.
I could also, I could be a rat or something too, and well, maybe not a rat because they might kill a rat, but maybe like a cat or something. But yes, I understand.
There is also one more complication with sneaking on board the ship. Carrick does keep 2 very large dogs. They're very friendly, but if you were to be perhaps disguised in some way, there's a chance that the 2 dogs might detect something like that.
Okay, so guys, hear me out. Disguise self, minor illusion for the voice, prestidigitation to smell like Carrick.
Or we can take one of his dogs, and I can be one of his dogs. Because I can get along with the other
So
dog.
we kidnap the dog.
Or third tangent. What if we just sneak in the water, right? From a distance they can't see. We disable the ship. It will take them time to figure out what the issue is. That buys us time. And while a person is doing that, because that should be minimal risk of, getting into an altercation, the rest of us or someone else or 2 other people can be taking someone for questioning, and that buys us additional time.
So you're saying
you could potentially possibly, if subterfuge and intrigue is more your style, potentially sneak onto the ship with the intention of checking the cargo before you hurt anyone, just to make sure that your suspicions are correct.
So we kidnap the harbor master.
I'd like to shoot a look at Zafarias as soon as she says not to hurt anybody. Just like a yeah kind of look.
Don't look at me like that. I don't. You are missing the point of what I'm saying. I don't necessarily want to hurt anyone. I mean, if we have to defend ourselves and they get killed, it's us or them.
Aye.
But what I'm saying is, I do think we should try to not take one of them out, knock one of them out, or two of them. So that way they have to figure out where their two people are.
Aye. Aye, yeah.
So no killing if we can help it. And also to Madame Grata's point, we want to make sure there are no innocent people on the ship as well. We want to save them if we can.
I think the most obvious is me to, shape into something and get on the ship that way. I think that's probably the best reconnaissance that we have as a group, yeah?
Did you guys say... Oh, sorry, Arandi.
Oh, I was gonna say, totally different direction idea. I do know how to play an instrument. Madame Grata, how many minstrels do you have here performing currently on a regular basis?
Oh, we have quite a rotating. I don't want to say supply, it sounds wrong.
But quite a few.
Quite a few, yes. It doesn't seem that in recent time any musically inclined individuals have been taken. That was just the first instance.
I thought that you said that there were a few minstrels who had been taken.
Long before the Haversham and the guards got here, there were disappearances. They stopped.
Okay, I see.
They stopped for maybe a week or two, and then the Haversham showed up, and one or two of my employees have gone missing.
Also, real quickly, Cerberus and Shax, didn't you say that you fought a spellcaster? Did you mention that?
Yes, I assume it's most likely this medicine woman that was on board. She's
a force to be reckoned with. She took off a guy's foot. She's a torturer.
So to that point, we need to be aware that the ship could have magical defenses as well. So maybe anything magical getting on is not going to work. So we need to be aware and plan for that. That's why I was thinking we at least disable it first so that it can't leave. And then we should all be, I think we should all be together if we want to get on the ship and investigate it, just in case the worst happens.
Okay, so here's a thought. What if we get the harbor master drunk, right? And we convince him while he's drunk to let us survey the ship the next morning. Or have him, escort us on a ship survey sort of situation?
I don't know. It's possible, but time is our issue. That's why I want to take one essentially and disable the ship. That way they have two issues they have to deal with, and that buys us time. And then we can go from there.
I mean, yeah.
With minimal casualties, to anyone on both sides. Can't hear you.
I would like to be taking all this in, and I'm going to throw my hood up. I'm going to turn around and walk out.
Okay. You guys see Madame Grata be surprised and kind of start to say something after him, and then stops. Your friend is very driven, it would seem.
As soon as I'm gonna, Cerberus, what are you? I'm gonna like catch him like in the hallway, like before we're in view of all the people.
I'm not stopping.
Arandi, please ask him where he's going, so at least we have an idea.
Hi, friend. So, do you remember that situation about open communication so that we can all keep each other safe? Because I've died twice now, I think. So I would just like to suggest that you let us know where you're headed. You can reply in your head. You don't even have to say any words with your mouth. 0 muscles required.
Fine. I'm going to the ship to disable it because this conversation's going fucking nowhere.
That's a good point. I would like to counter with the fact that we are investigating a human trafficking situation, and I'll give you one guess where they're probably being stored.
No
Also-
worries, I'm gonna die.
Tell him we need to rest too.
Zelfaria says that we should rest before we start any shit.
Please ask Zelfaris with what time it's supposed to leave tonight.
Because it's pretty early, isn't it? It's like 1.
It's like, yeah, like afternoon.
It is 2:00.
So, yeah, I will relay that information, and then I will say that he's going to disable the ship, and he says that no one is going to get hurt somehow. So,
Your choice. You guys can come with me, or I can try my luck.
he says we can come with or he can go by himself. So, Madam Grata, thank you so much for your time, and I will disguise myself as, I don't know, a seafaring half-elf, and I will follow him.
Before she
And
goes
I'll
out,
pull out my lute or my lyre as well.
before you go, I'll just be like, all right, just tell him not to get too far, and you guys don't get too far. We're all going. I'll look at Madame Grata. Is there a way for us to stay here tonight if we make it back?
Yes, and I also may or may not have an individual I could contact about potentially helping you. I don't know where they are, so I would have to locate them.
All right. You work on that. I guess we're working on the ship. And if Carrick shows up, see if you can try and I can't talk. Try and detain him as long as possible.
I don't think that will be difficult.
All right.
Also-
Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Just in case, as I'm like going out the door, just in case, is there a chance I could perform tonight, by the way? I'll offer a 50-50 on my profits.
Certainly.
And then I pop out.
I don't think it's smart for the whole party to go to the ship. I think that's suspicious. So I'm going to go ahead and let Cerberus go by himself to do whatever he needs to do, and then I'm going to go back into, the Madame Grata's place, which I don't know the name of. I guess anyway, I'm going to go get a booth and have a drink and rest for like an hour. So you guys can do what you want. I would suggest not going with Cerberus because it looks suspicious.
Well, I was actually about to ask you if you wanted to go with me to this, I believe it's Myrmede's Metals, to see if we can scope out this Dragonborn.
I would love to. Can we go in an hour? Because I'm really feeling like exhausted, and I feel naked when I can't use just go on to a different animal. I feel weak.
All right. Time is our enemy right now.
Well, it's not going to be leaving in the next hour. So she said tonight, or somebody said tonight. So
I just mean him. We might miss him. He might go there in that hour and be gone by the time we get there.
Okay. Hey, we can go there, but I have to at least at the after that then.
I mean, you can rest. I can scope out and come back. We'll be fine. We can. Let's put our pieces in more than one pot.
And also I while I'm hanging around, I can hear the local chatter from perhaps other people from the Haversham. Yeah.
Of course. All right.
Okay, so to recap, who's going to Cerberus? Okay, so Cerberus, you have a high enough intelligence score to know that if the guards notice you, because they're aware that you guys took back your weapons, there will probably be an altercation. Are you taking any extra steps to avoid that? I can't hear you.
The tabbing out of this damn window. On my way out the door, I will cast invisibility.
Okay. So
Do
Ronnie,
I see him do that?
yeah, so you follow Cerberus out the door, and then there is no Cerberus suddenly.
Hey, Rondi, wherever you are. Cerberus has this thing. He can make people, disappear. Could you tell him to turn around and maybe help us too, or me at least?
I will relay that, and I'll say, Cerberus, that was a really good idea, going invisible. I unfortunately have already used my ability to do that for the day, though. So, sad to say, I can't follow
Well, I
suit.
mean, you can make yourself look like other people, and they're going to be more on the lookout for Jax and I because we're the ones they saw.
Do we know where Carrick is today?
I have no idea where Carrick is. And just to confirm real quick, Jordan, I did take my paints back, correct? Because I
Yeah.
remember asking them.
Zell would have given them back as soon
Okay.
as. Yeah,
Cool.
he wouldn't have held on to that.
That is very key for this.
Also, I just I messed something up. I didn't launch our game, so I'm gonna launch our game real quick.
Oh, yeah, on here. I guess I'm just gonna disguise myself as best I can. Just kind of, make myself look a little like minimal makeup, like a little older. Put my hood up and try and sneak around. If Cerberus doesn't
Okay.
stop to make me invisible.
Make a deception check.
Oh, good dragon, please guide me in my transgressions.
Jordan, I would help you if I hadn't just spent my last second level spell slot.
It's all good, boo. Well, that's a 9.
Okay. So
And I'm also sneaky. Can I stealth too?
possibly. Yeah, Jax, you watch as Zelfarius kind of like hangs out for a second, looks at some of the performers, gets out a makeup kit, does some contouring. But there are a lot of different makeups going on here in this room, as like a lot of different performers. So he starts contouring one cheek looking at one woman, and then starts contouring the other side looking at a guy, and like he's a little lopsided looking. He kind of doesn't look like Zelfarius. So we're going to start with Cerberus and Arandi, because now that they have completely disengaged the need for stealth whatsoever, you guys, I will say, very conveniently stroll your way to the wharf, the docks, in a matter of probably 5 to 10 minutes. It's not a very large town. So those of you who are waiting or doing other things, just keep track of what has happened when. 5 minutes in, or 5 to 10 minutes in, Arandi and Cerberus are arriving at the wharf. No one can hear you.
On the way, I'm going to specify to Zelfarius that I am going to tell them that Carrick sent me here. That he told me to get onto their ship, essentially, like that we talked last night or something, and that he told me that I could basically like hitch a ride up to the next town over, and that there was some kind of opportunity for it, and I'll have some kind of, I don't know, sob story about why I'm stuck in this shit town. As a very well-known minstrel, how much time do you need, Cerberus?
Roughly, give me 10 minutes and I can probably do what's needed.
Okay, I think that'll work for me. If they let me stay by some fucking miracle, do you want me to stay on the boat while all that's going on? Maybe the chaos of whatever you're about to do is going to give me an opportunity to sneak around and go through the ship.
They'll definitely notice. So if you would like to stay on the ship, that's up to you. However, if things go poorly, I don't have a lot of energy left for today. I'm running on fumes.
Yeah, I understand I would be on my own. I guess my question is, what are you planning on doing?
Well, I plan to get out of, I know I'm invisible, but I'm going to get as close to the rudder as possible and then use the paints to cut it off.
Well, it's just currently docked right now, right? Like, that won't do anything right now. That'll...
I mean, a ship can't leave without a rudder. That's how they steer.
Yeah, so they won't know for a hot minute.
Rudders are pretty large. I assume they'll feel at least a slight shift on the boat as it drops.
And
Okay.
then around. Oh, sorry, real quick. Because Rondi would have said that, Zell would be like, okay, just be careful because I don't want you to stay on the boat permanently. So, good luck.
I won't stay permanently. That's not an issue. My plan is, as early on as possible, I'm going to find someone, incapacitate him, and then if I'll ideally go, just disguise myself as that person.
Just remember, there could be magic defense, so be careful.
Aye, that's true. Cerberus, do we have any kind of preparations for that?
I made sure to leave just enough energy to possibly deal with that.
Okay, so you guys, you're just heading towards the Haversham. One of you invisible, one of you not. There is a gangplank that goes down to the docks. So this ship is pretty large. Essentially, there's a strip of like wharf that goes along, and then docks that go out to sea. This one's pretty far out in the harbor, just because it is a large ship. If it were to get too close, it would probably get like beached essentially on the rocks underneath the docks. So this is kind of farther out in the harbor. There's a milling of activity. There's supplies that are being moved onto the ship with these sort of manual cranes. They're like essentially pieces of wood on like a bearing with handles. So things are lifted up on pulleys, then swung out over the ship, and then dropped onto the deck. There are a handful of just sailors and men putting more crates and stuff, more supplies for some kind of voyage into nets to be hauled up by the cranes. There are people moving up and down the gangplank with like long boards and stuff to do repairs with later. You hear before you see a very loud voice you haven't heard yet. Hey, put that over there. No. And then like this you can hear footsteps along the deck even though you can't see this individual. You assume this to be the sounds of Neilkish, based on his description by Madame Grata. There are a couple of individuals just standing at the top of the gangplank near the ship who are watching, who definitely take note of Arandi's approach. But there it is a buzz with activity. So, Cerberus, are you attempting to get on the ship? Or are you attempting to get in the water to the rudder? What would you like to do?
Yes, I'd like to go along the dock and get to the rear of the ship as close to the rear of the ship as possible. My original plan was, if I can't get to the rudder, I'd like to drop down into the water. And I know it's going to break my invisibility, but shape water my way across just underneath the surface. I can do that over to the rudder.
Okay, yeah. Make a dexterity check for me real quick, just to get through this sort of crowd on this narrow, like relatively narrow strip of wood.
16.
16. Yeah, that's plenty. You like duck underneath some wood and then like skip to the side and kind of sidle along the side. The first half of the ship, like essentially from the middle of the ship towards the bow, is all basically in line with the dock, and then like the latter half of the ship is kind of open water. But it's a decently large-ish ship, so you do manage to dip yourself into the water, kind of wade over to essentially where you'd be underneath part of the ship, and then if you drop invisibility, you shouldn't necessarily be seen by anybody on the ship. There are one or two individuals on the dock that if you stayed above the surface would maybe spot you. But if you're under the water, probably no one's going to notice.
Yeah, I'll drop invisibility, dropping beneath the surface, and I'm going to mermaid my way with shape water over underneath the rudder.
Okay. Arandi. Aside from the random catcall and whistles from just a dock full of sailors, what is your approach?
So first off, I would like to note that I'm going to affect, as we get onto the dock, kind of a sailor's rolling gait, just sort of to make it clear that I've been at sea before.
You aren't disguised as a woman. You're disguised as are you a female sailor or a male sailor?
Yeah, half elf, very attractive.
Okay, because I thought
female.
you were coming from Grottas as one of the.
So I'm going to have myself look and be kind of dressed similar to a sailor, but I will be carrying my harp, if that makes sense. So like
Okay.
loose puffy shirt type, really honestly pretty much what I'm wearing already, just with like a fuller loose puffy shirt, low cut, maybe some gaudy jewelry of some kind.
Okay.
Single earring type of thing.
Okay.
Right. And as I approach the Haversham, I'm going to say, "Oi, which one of you here is on watch?"
So, the two that are up at the top of the gangplank kind of like look at each other, and both point to themselves, and like there's like a minor squabble, and then one of them comes down. "Oh yeah, how can I help you?"
Yeah, so the other day I was told by your I think he's the first mate, or maybe he said he was the captain, I can't remember. He switched his story up a couple times. You know how some people are when they drink a bit. That you all are going up to a big city, and I think he said you guys were going north, is that right?
We go wherever the captain sends us.
Oh, I think he said north anyway, but he implied that you guys were going to a big city and there was an opportunity for a performer such as myself to, potentially find some proper work and get out of here. I was told if I entertained you lads on the journey that I could get free passage in exchange.
Make a deception check.
Sure, no problem.
DC 12.
$26. Sorry.
Okay. Well, we'll have to go get our boss. So just hold tight a second, and they seem kind of like chipper at the idea of having some like entertainment or something to do on the ship. And they disappear. A couple seconds go by. Cerberus and Aranda, you both hear, what? And then, again, thundering footsteps as this huge hulking mass of red-scaled form begins to appear over the side of the ship. Even at this distance, he is comparable to the bartender in the Wormsword Inn. Just this large creature covered in these sort of like deep red scars and scarring across the scales. Across his back is this sort of massive, it's almost like the shape of it is similar to what are they called, like a butcher's knife, this big blocky square of metal that's been chipped and cracked, and he sort of looks down his like scaled snout at you. What's your business?
Yeah, so my name is Althea. I was recently engaged with your captain or first mate. I don't know which. I can't remember what. He kind of said both, but...
Did you get a name?
Carrick is the name he said. And, see, it's a long story, but I've been sort of stranded here. And he said that if I entertained you lads during the trip up, that I could secure passage without any need for payment up to the next town over.
Any good?
I mean, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm quite a player. If you'd want me to demonstrate, I'd be happy to.
All right, play the horn.
Oh, sorry, that was a figure of speech. See, I play the lyre. That's why I have a lyre with me.
You're a liar?
No, this is a lyre. I'm a minstrel.
Play something.
Most certainly. And I will play a kind of sea shanty that is very well known up the Bacchus River and around that area, with the hopes that other people might recognize it, like a really, really well known one.
Okay, make a performance check. Are you proficient with the lyre?
I am proficient with the lyre. But I think I did get a natural one there.
So this is a new thing that I'm going to do for you guys. Tell me how you mess up.
I am going to say that on the busy dock, I get bumped quite a bit. And because of that, I fuck up and I lose track of where I'm singing because of getting run into a couple of times. People just, maybe I'm not playing very loudly because I'm a little bit anxious or something, and so they don't notice me and they bump into me.
Okay. So I'll take that into consideration. Cerberus.
Alright, so once I get to the rudder, if possible, I'd like to make a little ice sheet so where I can just reach the top of it.
Okay.
And I'd like to take the paints out, and after hearing about what Zell did with locks, I'd like to do the same thing, but I'd like to take off the entire rudder with the paint.
Okay. Are you freezing the rudder in place with the ice as well?
Technically, to be able to reach it, yes, I'd have to.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. Yeah. And again, just it's essentially just painting a line. It's not a particularly complicated thing. It doesn't take you but a moment, and you hear it creak. There's after a couple of minutes, there's an audible, but it is stuck near the bottom because of the amount of ice that you're standing on.
Once I'm sure that I've fucked this thing up, actually so they can't just somehow glue it back on some bullshit, I'm gonna just do the same thing, but I'm gonna put this thing in fucking pieces.
Okay, sure. All right. Yeah. there are now in pieces. There are splashes that begin to happen. But you chip away at small enough pieces that essentially the more time that you take doing this, the quieter you're going to be. So if you take about, I would say, another 10 minutes, if you dedicate about 10 minutes to this, I'll let you roll a stealth check. But if you just whip through it, then they'll start looking over the sides to see what happens.
Yeah, that's actually perfect because I told Arandi I need 10 minutes, so I will take that 10 minutes.
Okay, it took you about 10 minutes just to sever it, like to do all of the paintwork to get it off. It would take an additional 10 minutes, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, until Arandi contacts me with a 911, I'm gonna keep going.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
And actually, near the end of my performance, I would like to ask Orion or Cerberus if he needs more time.
That's a natty 1, so for a total of 4.
Okay.
I would, and I'll respond. Honestly, I could use a little bit more of a distraction. This is a lot louder than I thought it would be.
Okay. Nilkish kind of like pulls his snout up in a grimace at your performance. Stop, please. Do you play any other instruments?
Well, I do also play the pipes, but I don't have a set anymore. They actually got stolen from me shortly after I arrived.
Does anybody have a set of pipes? He just like calls around the ship. You don't see anything, but he indicates for you to come aboard.
All right. Well,
Okay. You head up, ducking through and dodging some of the oncoming traffic. A random sailor kind of pulls up a stool for you, and you see a familiar face, kind of big forearms, lanky biceps, older gentleman. It's Poe from the tavern. Is kind of like not like swaying his way up and smiling, and then like as he hands you a set of bagpipes, kind of pulls a face at you, just like looks confused.
so again, I am disguised, just for clarification.
I'm so sorry, sir. I actually don't play the bagpipes. I play the pipes.
You hear a huge metallic grinding sound from behind you.
But I am happy to try the bagpipes if you don't mind.
I think you're on the wrong ship, says this deep draconic voice says behind you.
Well, this is the Haversham, isn't it?
You
Here,
feel a huge a blade almost the size of you. You watch swing around you as this chiseled edge sort of like kind of rests against your chest and neck.
I'm gonna look down and just check. Am I still disguised?
You are not.
Okay, look. I understand you're a bit confused by the situation. As you can see, I am not a half-elf. It's very difficult for me to get through my days as anything other than as any. It's for my safety's sake. I could put it back on if you wanted. But I am a much better lyre player than it seems. I could, if you wanted, do another performance now that there's not so much hustle and bustle around me.
Kirk told us to be on the lookout for you.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna need you to roll initiative.
Okay.
I knew I should have went. It's fine.
Time to sink the boat. Let's do this.
Actually, about this time, hey, Orandi, how are things going?
So, they're not going very well. The ship is, you were right about the ship. I'm about to get attacked. I came on board and now I'm a tiefling. I'm a shiny.
Yeah, you
well-known
definitely
tiefling.
don't have enough time, given your current circumstance, to relay any of that information.
I would like to relay that information because I'll forget by the time it's my turn to go. I'm probably last on the initiative order. I would like to relay that information during my first turn.
Do you want Cerberus to be able to roll initiative?
Yeah.
It's not my decision, that's for
I'm,
sure.
No, I'm asking Arandi. Do you
Oh,
want
okay.
Cerberus to be a part of this combat?
If I say no, does he not get the opportunity if he wants to?
What I'm saying is, if you want to relay a message to anybody in your first couple of turns, in order for Cerberus to participate, you will have to use whatever mental capacity you have whilst fighting an 8 to 10 foot tall dragonborn to ask for help. So you can either solo this and try and talk to Zelfarius across town, who is 50 rounds away, or you can ask Cerberus for help.
I'll choose to ask Cerberus for help.
Okay, Cerberus, go ahead and roll initiative as well. We'll say that Arandi is able to do that. What was your initiative?
4. 20 less than my counterpart. You get them warmed up for me, buddy, and I'll finish them off. One turn, let's do this.
Y'all want to blow up a boat?
Oh my.
Cerberus, your turn first.
All right, so I know she's in danger or not this turn?
You know she is in danger. You know something went down.
Okay. Can I use my turn to... I'd like to paint a small hole in the bottom of the boat. Not enough to, like, gushing water. I just wanted, like, somebody's going to have to come down and fix this.
Sure, yeah. You can spend your action to do that, yes.
I will do so.
All right, is that it for your turn?
That's all I'm going to do.
Awesome. Nilkish is going to go ahead and make his longsword attacks on Arandi.
I'm ready.
Do you guys want some visual representation of this character?
Sure.
Oh yeah, what color of Dragonborn is he?
I think you said red.
Well, he said that he had red scars, but I don't think that... I actually don't know if chromatic Dragonborn are around. He is red. Okay.
That makes sense, actually, though. Can't hear ya.
He's going to make 2 longsword attacks. He does not have his short sword drawn yet.
Okay.
A 19 and a 9.
One of those hits.
For 5 points of damage. And that's going to be his opening turn. It's your turn. You also see a lot of the crew members who like immediately pull daggers and knives and get ready to help, all immediately start moving to the outer edges of the boat, forming a very large circle around this sweeping, huge metal machete. I can't hear you.
Out of curiosity, can I use my reaction, or was that essentially like a surprise round type of thing?
No, you can use your reaction. You just rolled initiative lower than his.
Okay, I would like to use my reaction to cast Hellish Rebuke on him.
Okay. Is that a saving throw? I still can't hear you.
Sorry, I had tabbed into another thing to see what it was. It's a Dex saving throw, so that's not great for me.
14.
Save DC is 15, boy!
Is that your spell save DC or your Hellish Rebuke save DC?
It's a spell save DC. What's the difference?
Okay. Well, if you have an innate ability because you're a tiefling to use Hellish Rebuke, it's not your spell save DC. Okay. Just because that wasn't on the stream, she's a tiefling of Glacia and doesn't have those abilities.
So, do I roll the damage, or...?
Yeah, you roll the damage. $12 points of damage. Okay, it's your turn.
I would like to use my, how far away is he from me? He's got a big sword is why I'm asking, like...
He is within 5 feet of you.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I wasn't sure if his weapon had reach or not. Okay. So... I'm sorry, I thought I had clicked up, but sometimes it because of my monitors, it'll stick at the top monitor and go all the way through. I would like to use my free object interaction to put away my lyre, because that's a real instrument, it costs real money, and then I would like to pull out, basically, with, magic, the Dagger of Venom. Oh, I can't with magic. I have to pull out the Dagger of Venom. So that's not my free object interaction, right? So that's...
You can draw a weapon.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I'm going to pull out the Dagger of Venom, and I would like to add him with it, and I would like to... Oh, never mind. The Venom on it costs an action to use, so... I will still stab him anyway.
Okay. Out of curiosity, is the Dagger of Venom any kind of +1 or +2?
It is it's a +1. It is considered a magic weapon.
Yeah, you won't get that. You won't get that +1 benefit.
Okay, I will keep that in mind. And it is also my hex weapon currently, in case you needed to know that.
Only if it applies for any kind of magical effect.
That's a 13 to hit.
Yeah, does not hit him.
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay.
Alright.
And then I would like to bonus action disengage. And how much space is between me and everyone else?
About maybe 15 feet.
If I can get kind of in the middle of them, so that I'm out of 5-foot range, so that he has to kind of come toward me. I'd like to go toward the back of towards Cerberus, basically.
Okay, so are you getting within 5 feet? If you move 10 feet, you'll be within 5 feet of the crowd.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna move 5 feet back, basically, so that I'm
Halfway between him and them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cerberus, it's your turn. Did you disengage?
yes, bonus action disengaged.
Okay, cool. Cerberus, your turn.
All right. I'd like to use my movement if I can to run back using. I can't do that because I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use my action to shape water so I can get back to help.
Okay. So you're
Um,
getting back to the dock?
Yes.
Okay.
I can only move 5 feet though, unless I use a third level spell slot. Actually, you know what? Can I start climbing up the side of the ship?
Sure. So if you want to swim back to the dock, it would be half your movement. If you want to climb the ship, it would be half your movement. So it's up to you.
Would I be able to make it back to the dock if I swam at this distance?
I think you would almost make it. So here's the thing. If you climb the ship with 15 feet, you can get about halfway up the ship. If you swim to the dock, you'll get almost to the dock, and then you'll have to climb up onto the dock, and then run around the dock up the gangplanks to get to that point. So it actually would be more effective to start climbing up the back of the ship.
Okay. In that aspect, can I climb up the ship? Can I action dash to get all the way up?
Yes, you can get basically to the top of the ship. So you're at the back of the ship. You had to climb over essentially the windows of the rear of the ship on the back of the captain's quarters. You briefly pass that, and then climb essentially up the carved figureheads that are over those windows and get onto the back of the ship. So you're at the back of where the helm is. You're about 45-ish feet from like the main center of the deck. You can see a fuck ton of people. There's probably like 20 or so individuals with weapons drawn in essentially a dance circle form, with this huge hulking red dragonborn swinging around this massive block of metal.
All right. Would it be a free action for me to yell?
I'll say yeah, that's fine.
Literally just a hey.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
In that case, that's all I can do.
Okay. It's going to be Nilkish's turn. And he is going to go ahead and draw his sidearm and make 3 attacks against you, Arandi. He's going to step 5 feet forward. (19, 14, and 11). I'll say the last one is his short sword.
Only the 19 hits.
Okay. That's 6 points of damage. A bunch of the crowd, like that are towards the helm, about all of them kind of look up. About 5 of them are going to start rushing you. So the main dance circle is still basically in effect, but there are like you're pulling some of them off. That's not what I meant to say, but you know what I mean. Arandi, it's your turn.
Pulling sailors off on a boat.
All right, so he is
so many seamen.
So he is within 5 feet of me. So basically, there's, if we're going by like 5-foot blocks, there's sailor, 5 feet, 5 feet, or sailor, 5 feet of space, me, and then him, right?
Correct.
And so there would be about, if it's a circle, about like what, 20 feet total if he's at the center of it.
Space. It's loosey goosey. Basically, there's some space to navigate. You can get around to his back. If you get within 5 feet of the crowd, they're just going to shove you back towards him. They're not going to attempt to take this from him in any way.
Okay, so I would like to bonus action disengage and run basically to where I am, but the other side of the circle. And then I would like to focus on my circlet. And
Okay.
cast Scorching Ray.
Awesome. You think really hard about your circlet, and you don't make any kind of connection to it at all.
I should have seen that coming.
thought
Okay,
you
yep, that was really stupid. So that's my action. And does the charge go, or does it not?
You don't know. It's not magic right now.
So is my action taken up trying to cast the spell? Or...
Yes.
Yeah.
Spending
okay.
the time to do it. Yes.
Right. I'm asking about the charge being used up for purposes of like tracking.
I will let you know when you are able to
Try
figure that
to
out.
use it again. Okay. Well, that's my action and my bonus action taken up, and I have used much of my movement. How much movement have I used to get to where I am?
About probably 10 feet.
And how close to the side of the ship am I?
Not like 20 or so feet.
Like, just the edge, any edge. I'm in basically the center.
Yeah, just about.
Could I... I'll just do it. So, that means that there's plenty of space on the other side of the guys, right? At any direction.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to use my boots of striding and springing to spring up over the crowd and
Okay. You
get to the other side.
you hop and you go nowhere.
Shit! What is wrong with me? I knew that. I knew better. Today's not my day, guys. Sorry, I haven't had enough of this caffeine. Yeah, and that's my turn. That's absolutely, there's nothing I can do. Thank you anyway. Oh, you know what? Actually, nope, never mind. Thank you anyway. That's all. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry about it.
Okay, we're back up to the top of the third round. Before we continue, we're going to take a very short break. I know it's mid-combat, but we just received word that our baby needs changing, so we're going to do that real quick. Everybody grab a snack, go to the bathroom, do whatever you need to do. We'll be right back.
Sorry about that. But
We're
my video
back.
is set now.
And it is Cerberus' turn.
All right, I'm gonna swing myself up onto the deck firmly, and I'm going to draw my javelin. Okay, and then I don't want to kill anybody because I don't know who's innocent and who's not. So I'm gonna run up to the first guy and like skewer him in the leg.
Okay. I don't want to kill anybody. I'll maim you for life.
Yeah, you
I
are
don't know
off the
if he's
wall.
innocent or not, so I'm gonna the first person I run up on.
Hey, there's regeneration spells. It's fine.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
It's gonna be an 11. I feel like I only have a +3 to hit with my spear. Is that correct?
Well, what's your strength?
What's your no? It'd be your dex.
No, my dex is +3, but I assume I should be.
Oh, proficiency. Yeah.
Doesn't sound like your proficiency is being added. What's your strength?
Oh, if it's going off, if it's strength, that's why.
It might be.
Should
Is there
be
like
dex,
is there a
shouldn't it?
ranged attack and then like a non-ranged attack?
So he says I'm proficient, melee, reach 5 feet, 30 feet to 120, 1d6, and 4d6 for when I use its extra special stuff. Nothing about different damage types.
It might be because it's a javelin and not a spear. So it's technically only a thrown weapon, which I can change, but it might be going off your strength.
All right, so should I keep the +3 where it is, or do I do that plus?
No, go ahead and add your proficiency to that too. It didn't matter, you hit anyway.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
And this, yeah, I'm stabbing him in the leg, hopefully non-lethal, just like
Sure.
still stabbing, but 5.
Plenty. He's down. He's just a sailor. He's a commoner. He has like 4 hit points. So you basically go in through the top of the thigh, out just behind the knee, and then pull back out, and he drops to the ground and just starts screaming. Everybody else who ran up to you stops. They're like not engaging at this point.
All right. We can't hear you.
I clicked out of it. I made a mistake. Arundi used Hellish Rebuke. That wouldn't have worked inside the area where she is. So I am redacting that hit point loss. And it is Neil Kish's turn. Arundi, I need you to make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
That's an 11. I'm dead. I'm not like insta dead. But that puts me at, you said 35? 33.
Can't hear you.
Negative 14, you're not permitted. Yeah, so he just like looms over you, and the mouth opens, and you see this sort of like, it's almost like a venom dripping that begins to spray out, and there's some sort of organic mechanism that ignites this like fluid, and you are just pummeled with flame in a cone because he's standing over you. It's like a shower, except hot. Well, I guess showers can be hot, except fire. How about that?
Scalding, burning, death.
Yeah, you drop to the ground, and the Dragonborn then looks up at the back of the deck as the toasted remains of Arundi just clatter to the ground.
Alrighty, are you? this is metagaming as shit, and I apologize. Are you resistant to fire being a tiefling?
I am. I am resistant to fire, and half of 33 is not what I
17.
had left. Yeah.
So you're still up? Good job, Daniel.
Thank you for that. Sorry for not noticing.
Do you have inspiration?
I do, yes.
Okay. Well, I would give you inspiration for helping your teammate, but
Max will take it.
then it's your turn, Orandi.
I'm really scared to waste a use of a potion. But I have 2 HP.
Oh, it's not gonna work.
Okay. I am going to... How far away am I from the edge of the boat at this point?
Okay, so there's like 10, 15 feet of just sailor bodies between you and the edge of the boat in basically any direction.
Right, but they dispersed to an extent to accommodate Cerberus arriving on the scene, right?
A couple of them did, but not the vast majority.
Okay, so what kind of gaps am I looking at?
None. Cerberus pulled from the outside of a crowd.
Okay. Well, then I am going to go up to wherever gets me closest to the edge of the ship. I will bonus action disengage. And I can't get through them, I don't think, because I realize you're not actually able to occupy the same space as an enemy, right?
You can attempt either a dexterity or strength check to try and shove through or tumble through a space.
Yeah, so I'm just going to stab a sailor instead. I'm just going to kill someone instead. There's no reason for me to risk failing a saving throw when I can just kill someone.
With the poison dagger?
It's
Okay.
just a dagger, but it's my hex blade, my hex weapon, so.
Okay, so you get up to him.
I get up to him, and I do some stabby stab. That's a 16 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And you said that the +1 of the dagger does not apply, right?
Correct.
So it is a d4 plus 4, so it is 6 points of damage.
Okay. Non-lethal or lethal?
Lethal.
Okay, yeah, you drop him.
And then I'm gonna run the rest of the way that I can to get off of the ship.
Okay, there are like 2 more guys standing behind where that guy was.
Yes, but I bonus action disengaged. Oh, behind?
I told you, there's about 10 to 15 feet thick of man flesh
I'm
between
sorry.
you and the edge of the boat.
Okay, well, that's my turn, so that's really unfortunate. I didn't realize what you were saying. I misinterpreted, and I thought that, yeah, that's my fault for not
It's okay.
understanding what you were saying.
You're ending your turn within 5 feet of 2 more sailors.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna jump back with the rest of my movement and put some space between me, myself and them.
That's okay, that's what they were going to do anyway. Cerberus.
All right. I know that from witnessing it that we can't cast spells. Do I have any inclination of what it might be? I know, obviously, like it could be an anti-magic field, but am I getting anything like that?
Yeah, it's probably some kind of anti-magic something. You're not sure the extent, if it's just a boat or if it's just the area around some part of the boat. Orandi stayed disguised on the gangplank, and when she stepped over the edge of the ship, so you're not sure when she stopped. When she stopped being disguised.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna move up to another sailor. I'm gonna take a stab at him again, trying not to kill him.
Taking a stab at him.
Natural 1.
How do you fail?
I'm gonna try because I have fighter, but I'm not extremely good in close range. So I'm gonna go to stab this guy in the same exact way, and he's just gonna sidestep me. I'm gonna bury my javelin into the deck.
Okay, that's pretty good. Neil Kish is going to have no such issues.
We don't know that. He could roll badly.
His fire breath does not recharge. However, seeing you trapped, basically is surrounded by people and not able to do any fancy escaping, he is going to put away his weapons. And actually, yeah, he's just going to put away his weapons. Here's the question, guys. Can he put away both as part of an action? Or would it be an action to put away one of them? Because you can stash one for a free action. Getting something out is normally an action. Could you stash both?
I would say if he has the dual wielder feat, yes. Because that technically lets you...
He doesn't have that feat, but as part of his stat block, the creature that he is, he can make two-handed attacks. So I would assume that he has something akin. I'm going to say that he can put both away,
Yeah.
and he is going to pull off of his hip a very heavy crossbow and begin to take aim at Cerberus on the back of the ship. Orandi, you're being ignored. What would you like to do?
Stand held.
I have a question for the DM. Are all wondrous items magic items?
Depends on the item. Sometimes I have to make custom items that are wondrous items that aren't technically magic. So what are you
Okay.
looking at?
I'm looking at the restorative ointment that we got from
I would say potions work in an anti-magic field. The restorative ointment probably works in an anti-magic field. It's
okay. I was thinking,
herbalism.
yeah, because I looked at it and it's herbalism, but so are health potions, and health potions are magic. So that's why I was not sure.
I just said that health potions would work in an anti-magic field.
Okay, yeah, you did say that, and I
Here's-
heard that,
yeah.
and it just didn't click in my brain. I'm sorry for that.
Here's going to be my rule of thumb. Alchemist fire doesn't work. I'll say anything that's made with, like, alchemy, which is technically old school chemistry, but is a little magic-y. Alchemy probably doesn't work. Herbs and the herbalism kit, that probably works. It's not a hard rule. It's just going to be my general guideline moving forward. But yeah. So the ointment is herb-based.
I am going to use my action to take a dose of the restorative ointment.
Okay. Are you doing anything else with your turn?
Contact help! Woo!
No one can hear you.
I'm gonna bonus action dodge, and I would like to use my brain talk. I can never remember what it's called. My psychic whispers to contact the rest of my party, and just very quickly be like, "We're being attacked! Big lizard man, anti-magic field on the ship," and that's all.
I don't think you can bonus action dodge. I think you can bonus action dash, disengage, or hide. And the
That's
thief
right, that's
class
right.
lets you bonus action.
Yep, I'm
Dodge.
sorry. I couldn't remember what the last one was.
You don't have to use a bonus action every turn.
No, but it helps. So I've already used the potion, so I can't go back on that or anything.
Quick question, real quick, because this might help you. Are you allowing us to bonus action potion or no?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that's a feat, is to use a bonus action for potions and stuff, right?
Yeah, I believe there's a critical role feat that allows. It's called like heavy drinker or something like that.
And you said poisons are not. Yeah, never mind.
Most poisons are actually described as being some sort of like actual thing and non-magical. So, except for your dagger.
Right. Shit.
What are
Well,
you doing with your turn?
I will. I can't. It's an action basically to try and shove through someone, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll just bonus action disengage, just in case for any reason that might be useful later on. And yeah.
Okay. Cerberus, it's your turn.
All right, I'm gonna yank my javelin back out of the deck, and I'm gonna take another swing. I'm just trying to play distraction at this point as much as possible.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 20 with 12 or 21.
Okay. Yep.
Points of damage.
Okay, he's actually still up. You do the same move again, and he tries to do the same dodge again, but you adjust and stab through his foot, pinning him to the deck.
All right, and then I can't really move back or anything, so that's my turn.
Okay. Nilkish, not really paying attention to Arandi at all, knowing she can't escape through the crowd, and seeing his crewmates getting demolished, is gonna go ahead and take aim.
Can't hear you.
Heavy miss with a 7 as the really thick crossbow bolt sort of blows past you. You can kind of feel the wind off of it, Cerberus. I also need to see if his breath recharges yet.
Can't hear you again.
As he hefts this heavy crossbow up, lets loose a wide shot, kind of throws it to the ground, and turns around and looks at Arandi, and flames begin to lick up the side of his mouth. Arandi, it's your turn.
Alright, I am going to action. I'm gonna run up into the space that I created, because you specified that you didn't say that anyone went in and moved to take up that space. So, I'm gonna go into that space, I'm gonna stab a guy.
Okay.
To hit.
That hits.
And that's 8 minus 1 is 7.
Yeah, he's dead.
Alright, and then I'm gonna bonus action stab the next guy in the row. I'm gonna walk forward and stab the next guy.
So you're just carving a path. Okay, go ahead and make your another attack.
And the offhand attack is without my proficiency bonus, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll the same thing and then I'll subtract my proficiency from it. I'm gonna live. It's a 27 minus 3, so 24 to hit.
Okay.
And another 7 minus 1, so 6 damage.
Yeah, he dies.
And then there's no one, right? That's 3 people total.
Yeah, you can jump off the side of the ship.
I'm gonna do it, and as I go to make my running leap, I'm gonna say, "Get out, Cerberus!" and then I'm gonna jump.
Okay. So you jump over the side of the ship and splash. I'll say that's basically all your movement.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably all I can do. So, yes.
Cerberus.
Seeing her jump
Bonus
off.
action hide. Never mind. Disregard. I used my bonus action. Sorry.
Actually, you are going to provoke 2 attacks of opportunity from either side of you as you jump.
It's okay. I no longer have 2 HP, so I'm cool with that.
And if they're commoners, hopefully they don't pack too much of a punch.
One is a crit, and one is a 4.
The crit hits. But I don't think they have any weapons, right?
I said most of them pulled daggers.
Oh, okay.
3 points of damage.
Cool, that's fine.
Cool. So you jump off the ship. You fall about 20 or so feet. That's not high enough to take fall damage in water. If you jump, say, off a bridge, you're going to take fall damage in water. Cerberus, it's your turn. You see what Arandi does not see, which is Neil Kesh making his way to the side of the ship she jumped off of.
Alright. I'm going to turn around, bolt back to the side of back of the ship, which is the closest, I assume. And I'm just going to dive over.
Okay, so you jump off the ship as well. Arandi, there's a splash. Water's around you. Begin to surface to come up for air so you can hold your breath and dive back down again, try and escape. As you look up through the water, you see a silhouette. Like a ball, big sphere above you, getting larger and larger. And with a heavy impact, a huge dragonborn form slams into you as he also jumps off the side of the boat to chase you.
Guys, I have uncanny dodge. First of all, my dumbass. Okay, sorry. Anyway, I was just scrolling through to be like, what can I do? Oh, okay. Sorry. So,
about 5 feet from you now, also floating underwater, you see 2 flickering orange eyes as the internal fire of this draconic warrior is just enraged that you're even making an attempt to escape. The mouth opens, and instead of fire, you just see bubbles of steam that begin to jet out in your direction. I need you to make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
not 15 for a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You take half, and then you will take half, and then you will take half.
Since I saved the saving throw, can
You take
I...
None, that's correct, instead of taking half. So yeah. No, if you succeed on a dexterity saving throw from an area of effect, you take no damage, and if you fail, you take half damage.
Oh,
Well,
for any
that's
AoE,
evasion.
not for my uncanny dodge.
Do you have evasion? You should have evasion.
No, I have uncanny dodge. Evasion is higher level.
It's higher level, yeah.
Oh, you have 2 levels
So-
of warlock. Never mind.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a quarter of the damage.
What's uncanny dodge let you do?
When an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to have the attack's damage against you.
Okay, cool. So you'll take a quarter.
That'd be awesome if you had evasion, though.
Yeah, it would have been awesome if I had remembered my uncanny dodge when I potentially almost died earlier.
So that's 26, reduced to 13 because you saved, reduced to 7 with your uncanny dodge, reduced to 4
Oh, because it's
you're
fire.
resistant.
Is it considered fire damage still?
I'm going to consider this fire damage, even though you're just engulfed in a column of steam. But yeah, 4 points.
Nice. Still, I'm not looking great right now, but
You're
Better than-
alive.
yep, I'm alive. That's the important thing.
It's your turn.
Is he within 5 feet of me?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to, can I use him to kick off and use my boots of striding and springing to jump away?
No.
Okay, it was a cool idea. I thought I would ask. In that case, I am going to. If I attack while I'm in water, do I attack with like disadvantage or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm going to bonus action disengage and get the fuck out of there. And I will action dash.
Action dash. Okay, cool. So you get 30 feet away. Cerberus, it's your turn.
All right. I'll swim around as far as I can. And do I get to see any of this as I swim around the side?
Yeah, there's a vague silhouette of your friend running away and a very large dragonborn kind of wading underwater.
All right. I'm going to test to see if I'm still in the field. I'm going to try a Ray of Frost him. If he's within 60 feet of me.
Yeah, he's about 60 feet away. Is that a saving throw or an attack roll?
Attack roll.
Okay.
25.
You definitely hit.
11 points of cold damage, and his speed is reduced by 10 until the next round.
All right, yeah, it goes off. You see a portion of the beam gets cut off, so there is a radius somewhere within the ship, but a majority of the beam goes through. It slams into the back of his shoulder. You can see, even though he's just kind of a vague silhouette in the water, you can see as his head swivels around 2 pinpricks of light kind of reflected on the water's surface as he begins. So he's between you and Orandi. He takes a moment and then starts moving slowly your direction.
I'll take an underwater fight. Let's do this.
I was gonna say, cap this bitch. Can't hear you.
He doesn't get his breath weapon back, so he's just going to move the 15 feet very slowly in your direction, kind of keeping himself in between you and Orandi. Orandi, do you just continue your turn to try and get to shore?
How far away am I from the shore?
You can't see it yet.
Like, the boat was docked.
Again, this is a whole ship. It can't get that close to shallows without beaching itself. So the docks are built pretty far out from the shore.
Right. Didn't think that. But, like, am I not close to the docks? Like, what?
You can...
From a pole that I can climb?
Sure, but that would put you back where the rest of the crew is, going up and down the docks. I assumed you didn't want to go to that dock.
Right, okay. I just wanted to know the situation. I thought maybe I'd, like, jumped off the wrong side of the boat or something. I don't know.
The other thing is, your range of vision down here is about 15 feet.
Right, okay. With that said, I am going to telepathy. Are you good? To Cerberus.
I'll just respond with, yeah, I have the advantage.
All right, and then from there, I am going to go ahead and, so currently he's 30 feet away from me.
Yeah, you've lost sight of him, basically.
Okay. I'll just dash and bonus action dash as well.
Okay.
But I would like to swim kind of like if he's here and Cerberus is here and I'm like here somewhere, I would like to swim kind of at an angle so that I can at least see if like sparks go off or something crazy happens that might require me to go back and help my friend.
Okay. All right. Cerberus, it's your turn.
All right. I'm gonna move back a little ways, and I'm gonna try to like start swimming an arc, around to where Orandi is. But along the way, I'm gonna fire off another ray of frost. That's gonna be a natty 1 again. Yeah. In that case, I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay.
Keep
So
some distance.
you raise your hand up to fire another ray of frost, and see that your whole hand is crusted with ice from firing the first ray of frost, have to like shake that off so that you can perform your somatic components. So you're doing an arc. He kind of does a reverse arc, like is kind of copying your path, and he is bringing himself closer and closer to the belly of his ship.
He ain't dumb.
That being said, he dropped his crossbow. He didn't get his fire breath back. So he's going to keep himself basically as close as possible to a distance from you. He's about, if you're making an arc, he'll be about, once you get basically, if you're doing an arc around the ship, once you get about to the halfway point from the ship, you'll be about 30 feet away. So he still won't be able to like get you, because right now he's looking at like a 10-foot movement speed underwater. So he's going to keep himself as close to that as he possibly can while you do whatever you're doing. Removing Arandi from initiative, it's your turn again.
Is he trying to, like, from where I hit just the side of that anti-magic field, can I see if he's in it? Or would I be able to estimate?
Yeah, he's starting to move within that range. You're not entirely 100% sure what the radius is. Definitely seems like he's kind of backing into some kind of sheltered area.
But he's not into it yet.
You're not entirely certain whether or not he is.
I'm going to point towards him. I'm going to try to cast message and see if it goes through.
Okay.
And I would like, in his head, I'd like him to hear, what? Can't take a one-on-one fight?
Okay. You sense the magic leave you. There's no reply. Pretty sure it didn't go through.
Worth a shot.
But yeah. On his turn, now that he's basically in that area, he puts essentially his clawed hands up against the deck to kind of anchor himself, and then starts moving himself along the side of the ship in the same direction you're going. So as you arc, he's pulled himself back and is now moving up the ship to kind of keep pace with you as best he can. It's your turn.
All right, as I'm going to keep swimming in the direction Arandi went, I'm going to go for my full movement. And then I'm just going to start making the rudest hand motions I could think of underwater. Just flipping him the bird, just doing all kinds of... I'm trying to provoke this man.
Okay. Is that all you're doing with your turn?
I will also... I guess I'll technically dash. As yeah.
Okay. There's a moment, and you can see some more flickering. Not his eyes, but from below his eyes. As his breath comes back, there's obvious hesitation. There's an obvious clench of claw into wood as he prepares to kick off in your direction. And then turns around and starts climbing up the side of the ship again.
Yeah, and he's not dumb.
And that's where we're going to end combat.
In that case, I'm just going to start using shape water to move myself along quicker.
At the end of combat, I would like to let our other friends know that we are fine, we have escaped, and just give them a general rundown of what happened. I will omit the fact that we killed any people.
Okay, you guys pull yourself back up to the shipyards. This whole thing took the span of 26 minutes for you to get back onto the wharf out of sight. But there you are. Is there anything else you guys would like to do with this stretch of adventure?
I think I would just like to make sure that I'm linked up with Cerberus, and that we compare notes about everything, pretty much. But what's our next path? What are we going to do after this? Do you want to find our friends? Are you able to disguise yourself at all?
No, but I can. I've got one more. I'm gonna say spell slot because can't think of another word. But I can make myself very hard to find if need be.
Okay. I'm going to disguise myself when we get to Shar, and I think we should link up with our friends, do whatever they need to do, and then maybe just like get some food and go back to the safe house.
I agree.
Okay, so are you guys moving a direction through town?
I suppose that we'll head toward the sound of the metal clanging. I think that's a pretty safe bet.
It's just people in shipyards fitting like mast fittings and stuff to it. It's general atmosphere. It's not like a specific thing.
Oh, got you. Well,
maybe you can just we've still got the mental link going.
Yeah.
Can you find out where the other two are? We can just head that way.
Well, yeah, you had already left the room, but they did say that they were heading to the Mermaid's Metal. It's a, actually to look for that dragon bard we just fought / ran away from. Yeah, it's a blacksmith already. So,
Shouldn't be too hard to find.
yeah, it's a pretty difficult blacksmith area. You know what it looks like.
And hood's going up. I'm going to try to save my spell slot for right now. So I'm going to try to be stealthy or inconspicuous along the way.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
I would actually like to assist him by giving him a minor illusion, like an eye patch.
So you're now Stephen Colbert in the third Hobbit movie. Just come out of a barrel, flip the eye patch up, look around, flip it down. Yeah, go ahead and add Orondi's stealth modifier to your stealth roll.
That's a +8, my friend.
So 22.
Yeah, and then I assume Orondi is naturally disguised. Yeah, you guys immediately feel much better having all of your magic equipment working again. There's definitely like a tangible disconnect from like you're used to the presence of these things on you. It's very naked for all of them to just suddenly not work. That being said, Zelfarius and Jax, the most interesting of duos. You have 26 minutes to tell the story before your friends catch up. I assume, did you guys wait for around at the cabaret, or did you guys leave?
I got a table at the cabaret and was actively listening to the crowd of hopefully sailors from the ship, or just general talkings, and see if I could discern any information that was pertinent to our tasks.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
$14. I didn't mean to roll twice, sorry.
You do pick up something major. There is a sort of quiet murmur moving among pretty much every group of individuals that you come across. There's a lot of, I can't believe it, this came out of nowhere, and things of that nature. You see a couple of them give sidelong glances at Zelfarius. Apparently, sometime about a week ago, the Emperor had been assassinated.
The Emperor,
by the way, just so you know, I'm not with him.
Oh, gotcha. That's my bad.
Maybe they cast sidelong glances like as you were leaving.
Yeah, there were still glances. But yeah, there are a few murmurs. Apparently, it's rumored that it might be in conjunction with some tensions in the Ebir Mountains that to the north that have had a lot of activity from the Noth. Like an unusual amount of activity, and some miners like disappearing and things like that, like colonies of miners cutting contact. However, the assassin, through either rumor mill or positive information, you can't be sure the accuracy of this information, was from Enodel. That's most of what you pick up. You hang out for about an hour. You don't see any of the individuals in question that you initially were here to scope out, just in case they came by. There is, after about 40 minutes into your sitting and chilling, there are a couple of girls that come in that have been in like different taverns and stuff, who make mention that there was quite a ruckus at the docks, specifically outside the tavern, near the Habersham. You assume that was probably your friends. But yeah, mention of fire. There were like flames that have gone up somewhere or something like that. Weapons, some kind of fight had erupted, and then died down after just a couple of minutes. And then, yeah, that's about what you get from your hour of sitting and hanging out.
I drank a little too.
How much is
So
a
I
little?
guess that's. I would say more than a little, but not like hammered.
Make a Constitution check with advantage. We'll put the DC at like 13, 14.
Yeah, that's fail.
Okay, you rolled really low. I'm not going to give you all skill checks. I'm not going to give you a point of exhaustion, which is basically what being poisoned or drunk is. I'm going to put your attack rolls and your saving throws at disadvantage. We'll say your attack rolls and your dexterity saving throws are at disadvantage until you take a long rest.
Now, when you say attack, you mean like physical attacks, right?
Yeah, when
Or
you
just
when you swing,
when I swing.
and then not the saving throws that like other people have to make, but when you're required to make a dexterity saving throw, it'll be a disadvantage. Zelfarius, what have you been doing?
I was making my way to the Mermaid's Medal.
Okay, yeah. Doesn't take very long. Again, you get there probably at the same time, if not slightly before your friends arrive at the docks. You're almost headed the same direction. The Mermaid's Medal is an interesting place. It's got a tin roof, sort of a low, squat building, but the general structure of it's almost like a recycled ship that's just been turned upside down, that's had like a tin roof slapped on it, and where the bottom of the bow would be on the boat, essentially like the opposite end of the figurehead, it's been cut off, and there's been like essentially like a leather flat put in for a door. But above the door, in this sort of makeshift porch, like this overhang, there is this huge, crudely constructed mermaid. You don't initially recognize as a mermaid. The tail of the mermaid is somewhat obscured by the huge beard this mermaid has. Sort of like, you can tell that it's supposed to be like a topless female, but the shoulders are so broad and the pecs are so developed, and the arms are so strong. This can only be a dwarven woman with a fish's tail.
And I will say, because the honest player in me, I did roll a 9 for my deception check, like on the way, and then I had like
Okay, yeah.
lopsided.
Let me go ahead and roll for guards.
Just in case you forgot.
Did anyone see you guys when you attacked the place?
Okay. So,
Not me, no.
no, they didn't see them specifically, but they did. They do know that his weapons are missing from the storehouse where his weapons were stored, and only his party's weapons and items were taken from the storehouse. You do notice, about 2 blocks away, a group of 3 guards standing on the corner who spot you, talk to each other, and then disappear. Just walk around a corner. But you are outside a blacksmith. You can hear the sound of construction echoing from within.
How far away were they when I saw them?
About 2 blocks, which is quite a ways. It's probably 120-ish feet, 160.
Okay. Okay. Am I the only one in the place?
You're outside of it if you want to go inside. Yeah, there's one person working. Has really heavy black beard, shaved head, with kind of a crop of hair at essentially the base of, or the top of the neck. It kind of goes down his back in a ponytail. The rest is all clean, smooth. The beard is bound up almost into like a column, with bands and stuff to keep it essentially contained while he's working. And he's essentially just clad in a leather apron or a leather smock and some pants. His arms are exposed, and he's just working what looks to be either part of a ship or it's like a long metal rod with like hooks on the end. It could be it's either the thing that they use to pull the ship to the dock, or it could be maybe a very large harpoon.
Good afternoon.
Kind of looks up, wipes the sweat off of his brow. Morning. Can I help you?
I was just wondering, I heard that you do some work for a large dragonborn.
Aye.
And I'm kind of looking for any like cues that he gives away as like certain words that I say. Does he come here often? Do you do a lot of work for him?
When he needs it.
What kinds of things does he have you do? Just out of curiosity.
Weapon and armor repair, mostly. Occasionally pieces of ship work that need fixed. Go ahead and roll insight.
Natural 20 for a total of 27. Finally, insight coming in.
You have a private message. But yeah, he continues.
Yeah, no, the weapon he has isn't particularly well made. It's just heavy, and he chips and breaks it quite often. But yeah, other than that, he doesn't come in here like every day.
I'm just gonna kind of look around, just kind of get in close. Look, we're trying to investigate these people and to help get them out of this town. If there's any information you can give me, I'm not your enemy. I'm here to help.
Make a persuasion check. This would be a DC 10.
16? Man, where were these rolls the other session when I needed them?
I know that they're going north. I think they might do business in Noth. They should be leaving soon.
You notice that, like, even though he's sweaty and he has been working, there's a specific kind of dripping of perspiration that wasn't necessarily quite as much as when you had first entered.
Is he threatening you in some way? Or has he hurt you?
I mean, his bearing alone is a bit of a threat. You've obviously not met him.
Is there anything else you can tell me about him? Any specifics? Anything you've noticed? Any information at all?
Make a DC 15 persuasion check.
And I'm gonna add, hopefully this helps, maybe. It's imperative. I need to know any information you can give me so we can get rid of him and help save you all. $22.
I mean, he's brought people here. There's a man who has a lot of money, has long hair. I've worked on his weapon before. It's nice. He's probably a pretty good fighter. There's an old man who just seems to tag along with them. He likes to talk. I have not really exchanged words with them or anything. I just... The younger man, the one with the hair, he used to live here a long time ago. He was probably a teenager when he left. I've been here a long time. They just recently hired someone from here. His name is Poe. Probably about a week ago. They picked up new crewmates. They'd lost some somewhere. They're here from the south, I think.
Make another insight check.
Quick question for the DM. I didn't have it noted down, but what does Carrick's hair look like?
There's a picture of Carrick in the chat.
Oh, perfect. Thanks.
Carrick's kind of an older guy.
9.
9. He's really guarded. He might have more to say. It's really hard to tell. But he seems to be holding on to something, whether it's just trying to get through this conversation or another piece of information, or it's ambiguous with a 9.
I'm just gonna kind of rest my hand on his shoulder, like in a supportive way. Thank you. I know you're scared. And I know there's potential for risk to you and the people you love. And that's what we're trying to get rid of. If you want to tell me anything else, you can, but you don't have to. I understand. But the more you give me, the better chance we have at getting rid of these people.
Make a DC 20 persuasion check with advantage.
Can I ask for some guidance?
Yeah, sure, why not? It's
Okay.
your thing.
Okay, cool.
What's a D4 among friends?
Thank God for advantage. Because the first one was a natty 1, but that's a 24 total.
A lot of natty 1s today, guys. Like, you guys all have sessions where you roll way too fucking high, way too much, but this is a session it's like, whenever I need you in order to further the story, I need you guys to find information, you're like, nah, we're gonna roll like shit. And then whenever it's combat, and I'm like, I really want this to be entertaining, you're like, nah, we'll roll really high, and it'll last 5 minutes, and your session won't be prepared at all. But yeah, good job with the advantage. Good job, Logan, giving advantage where it's necessary.
Thanks, DM.
Yeah, you did a really good job with what you said. You should ask Went. He runs a bakery in town. He and the younger gentleman, they have some kind of history. Went's a good man. He's a nice fellow. And he's had issues. He's raising his daughter alone. Just be careful with him, if you could. He's a friend.
Absolutely. Again, thank you. I know this was hard, but this really, really helps. And I will do the best. We will do the best we can to do this with minimal negative impact.
I need to get back to work.
Also, 2 things. First, I didn't catch your name. Mine is Zelfarius. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Brargruck.
Can you spell that, please?
Brargruck. Brargruck.
And second thing, just for your protection, start yelling at me to get out, and that you are not giving me any. This is just to make you look good, so just put on the best get out, you stupid head, get up that you've got.
He rolled an 8 on his deception check.
Oh, I can give him guidance. I forgot. I'll tap him on the shoulder as I say that.
He rolled D4.
+3.
+3. Okay, an 11. Get out of here. We're not interested in. I don't swing that way. He just like starts pushing you out of the flap, and I'm married. It's really bad.
Never mind. Just good
You
job.
kinda- as you stumble out of the leather flap, you can see, like a block away now, there's a pretty large detachment of these sort of ragtag assembled guards, probably around 10 or so, kind of making their way down, and they see you, and their pace picks up,
Question:
kind of like beelining for you.
How ragtag do they look?
They don't look injured. They look like, again, their gear isn't uniform, like that kind of ragtag. Like a lot of it is found and assembled, and they kind of resemble a unit, but it's almost more in the way they carry themselves as a group than not. But yeah,
Is there a way for me to? Can I gauge if I could handle them?
insight check.
$17.
I will actually give you real stats.
Cool. I'm just gonna do like a quick mental. Bloop, 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 bloop.
I don't know why, but when this background soundtrack, when this bellows comes on, it's like really satisfying for me. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just super satisfying in my ears. It's weird. ASMR.
I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the sound. I meant to switch it back to him working again because I had him stop to talk and then start it again. It's actually pretty cool that there's like, you can still have the ambience of the inside of the smithy without the hammering. For 10 of these guys, so here's the thing. Depending on how much magic you want to use, possibly. If you had spent a little more time training physically instead of spiritually, probably be easy. It would be a medium hard challenge, but you could potentially pull it off. Possibly.
How far away are they?
They're about 70, 80 feet off and gaining on you.
Okay, I'm gonna contact Arandi. I'm about to do something really stupid. I'm at the Mermaid Metals. If you all want to come there, and I'm gonna start heading in their direction. Bonus action, when I get within, we'll say 30 feet, I'm gonna cast Draconic Smite at 2nd level, and both swords are coming out. This is all non-lethal damage, but actually, nah, this is straight up damage. Yeah, we're gonna do this.
All right, Mocha Jackie Chan, roll initiative.
Mocha Jackie Chan.
21 for initiative.
How far away is Madame Grata's place from this mermaid's metal?
3-4 minute walk. It's not a very big town. It takes like 10 minutes to walk across the whole town, so.
I would say the original plan. Okay, never mind.
Because he's about So he spent probably the same amount of time talking to the guy. Yeah, he spent about 10 minutes talking to him. So it's been about 15 minutes since he's left. So you're like 15 minutes into hanging out and chilling. And presently, basically at almost the exact same time, Orandi is starting to play the lyre for Nilkish, is how this has panned out. Brian, I think it is hilarious that like you are the most likely to just go off and start some shit, and then somehow whenever like multiple groups get into a fight, you're like hanging out at a bar somewhere, like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out of shape, so I'm trying to rest before I get into any debacles, because
Any shenanigans. All right. So Orandi, you hear Zell say he's gonna do something really stupid as you're playing the lyre for Nilkish like 30 minutes ago.
I will say that I did hear this, of course, but it distracted me, and I kind of like leaned back a little bit, and then I stepped into a guy, and it just and
that's what
everything happened. It was so hectic. I just forgot.
Zelfarius is the reason that Orandi's performance with her lyre sucked.
Unseen chaos.
She was just taken aback by the idea of Zelfarius doing something dumb. All right, Zelfarius, you get to go first.
Okay, so swords are out and activated. I cast my spell. I will send, while I'm away still, a guiding bolt at one of them. That's a 19 to hit.
Their armor class is 11.
Sweet. $16 points damage.
is this just taking place in the street?
Yes, and speaking of, thank you for that.
I would never have guessed that Zell would be the one to start a street fight.
Hey, they clocked me first. I'm fed up.
Zell's just constantly looking, like secretly. It's probably just always looking for a chance to be like, self-defense! It was self-defense! Stand my ground!
This is a stand your ground village.
Here you fight to the death.
He pushed me, simple battery. I stood my ground.
So I'm like in 3 minority categories. This was a hate crime on 3 levels. Like, oh my god, I'm super fed up.
Clearly.
So like, Jax, bring the grenades.
Shit's getting real.
It's time for the giant constrictor snake, Drax. Bring the toads.
It's time to duel.
No, I love the bring the toads.
This is a Zelfarius specific thing. I'm going to put on some Zelfarius fight music.
Oh? I'm intrigued.
Meanwhile, Blacksmith's just like, look, man, I'm on a deadline here.
Gotta crank this shit out in a day. You go ahead, do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing.
And I need your armor class real quick.
17. I'm excited, but I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
I'm guessing you're only facing 9 now after that first one.
Yeah, that came out strong.
We're in a powwow.
Okay. So,
I love it.
he's still up. Is there anything else
Okay.
you want to do for your turn?
No, that was because that was when I was still 30 feet away. So
Okay.
that'll be my turn.
I got to turn down. My bad.
Is this from Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, but it is. I just figured out. It's the battle music
It's
that
from Critical Role.
Matt uses a lot. It's the Sirenscape Temple of the Dragon battle music.
It's just I played this back in my orchestra days, and this sounds like a lot like one of the battle themes that they have in Pirates of the Caribbean.
And
Alright,
he's
so-
glowing,
by the way.
We're gonna use the mob damage calculator, which means instead of rolling 10 times to hit you, it's just there's gonna be a percentage that hit you every round. And your
Okay.
job is to either make less of them to hit you.
Wait, how many are there?
10. So
You can take them.
Can I adjust that? I'm gonna do that at 40 feet and stop and let them come to me. So they should be just getting to me. I'm not gonna, because I was gonna rush towards them, but I'm gonna let them rush me. If that makes sense.
okay, and you hit it with a guiding bolt.
Yes,
What?
that's 120 foot range. So
Sure.
Yeah, I heard you dodge.
In that case, this round, instead of using their action to dash, they are going to move their full speed. So the group of them will be about 10 feet away from you, and they're all going to bring out heavy crossbows.
fun. Dexterity saving check.
Yeah. So the difference is only one less hit you. So you take 15 points of damage, and they move into range. They move and they're about 10 feet away from you, and it's your turn again.
All right, here we go. Let's hope this smite comes in clutch. So I'm gonna go ahead and strike the one that I hit with the guiding bolt first.
Okay, so that should be advantage. What's your max health, by the way?
52, and I'm at 35. From that hit. Was at 50 because we weren't at full health. So that was 19 to hit him. All right, wait, I gotta roll with advantage. 22 to hit.
That hits.
So he takes 5 points of slashing, I believe it is, and then 4 points of fire damage from the swords, and then another 2d6 from the draconic smite.
Okay.
$15 points of damage, I think, in total.
Okay. Yeah.
Then with that, I need 4 other ones to make a Constitution saving throw.
What is the DC?
You're right. It is 15. I think. Yeah, 15.
What kind of saving throw?
Constitution.
And how much damage will it be?
So if they fail, it's going to be 2d6 cold damage. If they succeed, they take no damage.
Oh, I didn't see I didn't need to know that damage. 3 make their. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, 1 out of the 4 makes their saving throw.
So that's 8 points of cold damage to the other 3.
Okay.
And then bonus action, I'll swing my other sword
Okay.
at one of them. That's an 11 to hit.
11 is their armor class.
Whew, okay. $13 points of damage to that guy, and then another 4 need to make con saving throws as well.
1 makes it safe.
That's another 7 points of cold damage to the 3 that failed.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Nobody's down yet. So
How
they're
they
gonna go
looking?
for- One of them looks super fucked up. The one that you hit with most of it, he's like clutching like a gaping wound. And there's a handful you haven't even touched yet. 'Cause,
Okay.
um,
Well, I would. Okay, if I could I? Because I can choose the 4 that. Well, I'll keep it, but yeah, I guess I'll just specify if I want to spread it out or not.
Sure. So right now, I'll just tell you, the one that you hit with most of it is at 2 health. And then we have 24, 17, 17, 25, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32. So they could either be... I basically made half of them take a majority of that damage.
Okay. Cool.
Good luck.
It's gonna be bad.
All right, 5 of them managed to hit you
Okay.
for a total of 25 damage.
Ow.
How much HP do you have, my friend? Max?
Max is 52, but I don't have that much right now.
I immediately thought of the meme that was like, I'm going to jail.
More like, I'm gonna die.
I'm in danger.
I'm Elfo.
All right, that's just generally it for their turn. 'Cause we're just doing percentage based attacks instead of rolling for each because that takes too long. So it's your turn.
Okay. So action. I have a potion of greater healing. Do I want to use it now?
Just so you know, if you want to take the bonus action to attack, you have to have taken the attack action on your turn.
Yeah, I know. Oh, this is a bad idea. Yeah, action. I'm gonna drink my potion of greater healing that I have. And then where am I relative? Like, am I in the middle of them? Like, to the side of them?
They're kind of a semicircle around you, trying to. They haven't made their attacks with advantage, so. I wonder if there's a thing for that in the calculator, actually. Nah, they don't, so there's no point in me trying to get them to have advantage, because I can't make it work. I guess I could just double the number of rolls they're making.
And then for my bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Spirit and go ahead and activate it on myself.
Okay.
Ah, shit. That's concentration. Okay, scratch that. Not doing that just yet. Bonus action. Yeah, I'm going to Misty Step. So if they're kind of in a semicircle, I'm going to Misty Step to the edge of one side and have all of them kind of be like in a line in front of me.
Okay, they're kind of a crescent shape, like a semicircle.
Yeah, I'll just be at the tip of one side.
Okay. Alright.
That's gonna be it.
Alrighty. That wasn't that far away, so most of them are gonna reposition around you. Doing another mob calculation. What's your current hit points at?
18.
What's your armor class again?
17.
Just making sure I have everything right.
Don't
See, I'm
hurt
like,
me.
how
Don't hurt
do I
me, Daddy.
keep him from 100% certainly dying right now?
Okay. 4 of them hit you
Okay.
for a total of 20 damage.
Ah, yikes.
Correction. DM's like, how can I just barely make sure he dies right now while he's separated from the rest of his party?
10 thugs, man. I told him how many there were. Told him it depending on how much magic
I'm
he
just
used.
joking. I'm just joking. How much time has passed since you first arrived at the thing and messaged me with the psychic link? Psychic whispers?
How much time since he messaged you that he was going to do something stupid?
Yeah,
Like less than a minute, right?
About
I hope not.
18 seconds.
Oh! Yeah, so there's nothing that we can do on our end. Yet, anyway.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything I can do for that.
Okay.
I'm pulling I did an Annabelle. There's something I could have did earlier. I forgot that because I never use it.
Sorry, guys. I'm contagious. It only goes downhill from here, Zalfarius.
Are you okay, Daniel? Okay. So Zelfarius is unconscious.
Hey, you know what? Did the last guy that stabbed him specify that it was a non-lethal stabbing?
No.
You sure? I mean, maybe they're thugs trying to uphold the peace.
In the arms of the angel.
The dragon.
Bye, guys.
Jax, Cerberus, Arandi. You guys go to the blacksmith. You guys end up about there at the same time. No sign of Zelfarius. Blacksmith's gone. There seems to have been some kind of tussle outside, some sort of commotion. There's dirt kicked up, there's blood on the ground. What do you do?
Look around for any sign of anything. So you said there was blood on the ground?
Yeah, just some spatters and stuff from some sort of commotion. Not like a trail leading through town, but there was definitely some punches and stabbings and stuff thrown.
Is there
Is
any...
there any sign of fire damage?
Probably not.
Are there any people around?
Yeah, there are. I mean, it was in the middle of town.
I like to go up to the nearest person. What happened here?
Well, I personally wasn't here for it, but from what I've heard, another one of those Inadelian assassins have shown up. Started attacking one of the guards.
Can you tell me what they look like?
Don't they all kind of look the same? Dark skin, pointy ears.
That's very, Anyway, I'll move on from that. Okay, so it was an assassin. Did they assassinate anybody?
Tried to kill a guard. There's one had to be taken away on a stretcher.
An assassin trying to kill a guard.
I think he was caught doing something, maybe.
Where did they go? Where did they take him?
Again, I wasn't here. I don't know if they took him anywhere. He might have been killed.
Well, anyway, that all aside, weird enough. What happened to the blacksmith? We were coming here to see him, and you or her. We haven't met the blacksmith yet. We're new in town. And there's nobody here. You know what's going on with that?
Maybe he went home.
I like to kind of meander around and ask somebody else if anybody else saw where they took the person on the stretcher.
Okay. Appears to have been taken to a guardhouse for medical attention. From what you can tell, 2 individuals were called. A young woman who runs the apothecary and the old woman who was with her.
How long was I at the place total?
About an hour. So you got you accomplished what you set out to do and get your wild shapes back.
Do I know where this guardhouse is? Or can I ask?
It's either the one that you already tried to break into, or it's one you don't know about yet. Nobody seems to know specifically where he was taken. And so the coast is behind you. So if you're at the docks and someone says, that way, it could be basically the entire wall that's cutting off the town from the rest of the world. But as far as you know, there's only one guardhouse.
I like to get away from the group and head towards that guardhouse inconspicuously.
Okay.
You'll have to get past my perception check in order to sneak away from us. So it's going to be pretty hard.
Okay. What's the smallest thing that I can shape into?
Probably a bug of some kind.
Probably a bug. A spider, maybe.
Fly.
He can't
Can't
fly.
fly though. I think it's like level 8, right?
Yeah.
I think it's 8. Yeah, I will. I don't know if anybody else is following me,
What
but
about like maybe a grasshopper? Something that can go faster than a spider is my thought. Just
probably
trying
do. I'll probably do. I'll probably do a spider so I can climb wall. I guess any bug can climb walls, but I don't know. I like spiders, and I've done it before, so I know that I can do a spider. I would say I'm gonna leave this place. I don't know if you guys follow me or not. I don't say anything to you. I just kind of make my way to the. I don't know why I would. I don't know why I wouldn't say anything. Actually, it doesn't make sense. So yeah, I'll like reconvene. Like, yo, I'm gonna head towards this place, and I'm gonna see what's up.
So we've established the guard was taken away on the stretcher, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Can I ask one of the passerbys, just like, is the person who attacked us, are they alive or did they take away a body?
I mean, 10 people stabbed him. I'm certain nobody comes back from that.
I'm having a hard time hearing you over the music.
Yeah, the music's pretty loud.
My bad, guys.
Thanks.
About 10 people stabbed him, and I'm sure nobody comes back from that.
Upon hearing that, I'm taking off after Jax. I'm going with him.
Okay.
And I will follow, but I'll kind of watch our surroundings a little bit as we're heading out.
Okay. Are you guys attempting to evade being noticed at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then give me a group stealth check. Arandi, you don't really have to. You can, like, change yourself. And Cerberus, you should have advantage. Oh, you have disadvantage because of the... Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, you guys basically hop from shrub to shrub behind...
Oh, wait, you said I didn't have to roll stealth, didn't you?
You don't. The other two do because they're recognizable. You can be anyone.
That's good, because I rolled a 2.
Maybe that goes against your...
It's a 10 overall, so, like...
Never mind, then. Yeah, so you guys go. You end up outside of the guardhouse you had previously broken into, the large crescent-shaped wall of fire, singed grass opposite the street. A lot of guards here. A lot more than when you were first here, because a lot of guards... you didn't see a whole lot on your way here. And that is where we are going to leave off this week. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for playing. I'm excited to see what happens. Wasn't expecting this.
Rest in Circleheim.
Oh, damn.
Brian,
But yeah,
so mean.
thank you guys so much for sticking with us. Remember, if you want to help what we're trying to do, you can always buy dice for dumbasses to roll against 10 thugs with, so that they do a little bit better and maybe survive.
I had
next time.
charity dice. I forgot. I
Yeah.
forgot all my shit. I really
what
did.
dice?
The
Charity
charity dice.
Yeah.
We have. What do we
Could have
have?
upped your damage output. Could have done all
Like
kinds of stuff.
a good few dice. I feel like we haven't gotten any more in a while though, so maybe all of
Well,
our viewers hate
two-
us. So
there's-
maybe
2d10 and 2d12.
four of you. There's 4 of you to campaign to get new dice. If you all have some kind of social media, if you want more dice, go out and get some more dice.
I think I have exactly 1 follower on Twitter, and that is you. I might have 2. I might also have one of my friends following me for some reason.
Anyway, if you want to see them succeed in the face of certain suicide, go donate. The link is on our stream at the bottom of the screen. Thank you guys again for watching, and we'll be back next week without Jordan for next session.
No, he cannot be here next session.
Without Jordan for next session.
We don't know that he's dead.
But
we
we
don't
will
know.
have a special guest player coming. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, see you later. Bye. Thanks for watching.
Bye. Be safe, guys.
That actually works out because I won't be able to make next week.